the Broncos were performing really well. They had it. They had it again.
Yeah.
They're 1-2 now. They had the Chargers right where they wanted, and Herbert helped lead them off the mat with two great final drives of that game. And it kind of leads me to this final question for you that I wasn't planning on asking, but I'll ask it anyway. I mean, Caleb and Drake May from last year's quarterback class through the first 3 weeks of this season. We know Jaden Daniels is hurt. Nix has not looked yet like last year. And Penix sat and watched the fourth quarter in a shutout loss in Carolina, and J.J. McCarthy one quarter on Monday night.
Yeah.
That's been a bit as well for him with injury.
Yeah.
You want to throw that out there here? I mean,
it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, after C.J. Stroud's rookie year, we're all saying, oh my gosh, that was the pick of the draft, better than Bryce Young, all of that stuff. Since that rookie year, CJ has, struggled mightily. And, although Bryce hasn't been great, Bryce continues to get better. And so maybe it's a cautionary tale that we shouldn't jump to conclusions right off the bat on how things are going to work out. Still think Jaden Daniels is going to be awesome, was maybe the best quarterback in that class. Well, obviously was the best quarterback in that class a year ago. But, Caleb struggles last year. A lot of people want to label him. I just think he's only gotten better week in and week out. Bo Nix, as you said, I thought he played really well down the stretch last year. He's really struggling right now, in my opinion. He's playing way too fast. He's looking at one guy. He's moving. He wants to throw everything on the run. After the first game of the year, I thought Michael Penix looked really good. I thought, okay, all right, here we go. And he hasn't looked nearly as good. He's throwing the ball too hard, in my opinion. His technique is getting away from him. He's missing opportunity. So, I think it is a cautionary tale that it's going to take some time for all these guys. Let's not make a snap judgment. I mean, let's look at J.J. McCarthy, because I know you're always interested in that, Rich, is that I thought the play calling by Kevin O'Connell was completely different this past week with Carson Wentz than it was the first 2 weeks with J.J. McCarthy. And so, again, I don't have any inside knowledge, but it just makes me wonder J.J.'s their guy, and J.J.'s going to be their guy moving forward. But maybe J.J. isn't fully ready, because we talk about Jackson Dart, isn't fully ready to handle everything that is this Minnesota offense and all the weapons and what Kevin O'Connell wants to do. And they kind of forced into, starting him because, they could have kept Sam Darnold, of course, but they think J.J.'s the guy for the long term. But so we got to start him right away. And now it looked like they opened up their offense. They could do more things with Carson Wentz. He was more comfortable with what they did. And you saw the results of what they did offensively, obviously helped a lot by their defense. But, it always leaves you these questions, is where are these guys when they get thrown into the mix? I had that interview with Jordan Love last week. And, I asked him, would you start or sit? If you had to do it all over again, would you start or sit? And he said, I wouldn't change a thing. The things that I learned, the things where I grew as a player in that time, even though I wanted to play and be out there, were vital to him being the guy that he is today. And so, I just think we all have to just hit the brakes a little bit and understand it takes time. And even if you have some success early, like we've seen from some of these guys, that doesn't guarantee that you're there and you've got it and it's going to be easy moving forward. And so, let's just let this thing play out. I don't know right now, because like you said, we had we had an idea going into the season. Okay, this is how it's going to work out. And I think we even asked the question somewhere, is Caleb Williams the worst quarterback of,
right.
the quarterback class from last year?
Yeah.
And, and again, I understand why we're asking it and based on what happened last year, but there are so many factors that go into that. And we could be, labeling them all differently halfway through this season and then even differently again by the end of the season. So let's give these guys some time to show us where they're at and who they are before we start judging every one of them and what they are as a quarterback.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.